Robert, put a Lamborghini on the screen and then put like a $400,000 starter home on the screen. Which one makes you feel cooler? Which one makes you feel special? If I told you you could get a Lamborghini for $15,000, you would leave your job, sprint to the store and have a Lamborghini today. We would sell out in 24 hours. But if I tell you it's $15,000 down payment to get a house, you tell me it's overpriced. Even though the Lamborghini loses value and the house gained value, even though the Lamborghini's maintenance, gas, upkeep, repairs, insurance would cost you a mortgage, you don't care. You would choose the Lamborghini every time. You don't actually care about the finances. You have an emotional attachment to cars. And the question we are going to find out today is, why don't Americans have that same emotional attachment to owning a home? Bill?
Yes.
We're going to have a lot of angry car guys at us, right? But I want to start off this conversation, and I definitely hope that Robert adds this to the clip so people don't just think I'm some no fun asshole. I get why guys love cars. I get it. It is much easier to pull up to a nightclub or a bar and pull, and date a hot girl when you pull up instead of a Lamborghini instead of a Toyota Camry.
Yes.
I understand that. I was 21 once. I get it, right? There's a certain status, a certain feeling you get when you drive a really nice car. There's an emotional attachment, right? Car equals freedom. I can drive away from my parents' house for the first time. I can take my girlfriend and it's just us. You have so many emotional moments. Some people had their first sexual encounter in a car, right? There are so many emotional attachments to a car.
Well, and the perception is when you have a nice car, the perception is, oh, they have money. They must have money. So it makes you feel good, I think, emotionally to make you feel like you have money, but it's actually just kind of putting you behind every single month.
It is. But remember, they think it's a logical reason. It's an emotional one.
It is emotional.
They don't care that the car puts them behind. They don't care. Car equals time. I drive car, I save time, right? I have freedom. My question, and the one that we're going to spend the next 30 minutes trying to answer, is why don't we have that same emotional freedom attachment with houses? And the first thing I want to put forward is a lot of people didn't grow up in a house anymore. We have a generation of renters, right? One of the causes of the no-fault divorce generation is that it's hard for a single parent to own a house, right? Someone's got to lose the house. So a lot of people grew up in rentals. They didn't have that emotional moment in a house. They never had their first steps in a house. Their first steps were in an apartment, right? They didn't have their first girlfriend in a house. They had that first thing in an apartment, right? So all of their emotional attachments are to apartments, right? There's not that same Americana nostalgia. Like if we had this conversation in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, where most people grew up in houses, we'd probably be different. In fact, we probably wouldn't even need to do this podcast because people already knew the value, right? So the first thing I want to talk about is the emotional connection people have to cars that they don't have towards houses, right? We grew up idolizing cars. Ferris Bueller couldn't have had his day off without a car. The road trip, the car poster, the F1 races, the NASCAR, cars have always equal status and control, right? I have a nice car, or hell, I'm 16 and I have a car. That puts me ahead of the boys who don't. Right? The first time you had a car and a girl needed a ride, or you could take a girl and her friends to the mall, that puts you status wise above guys who didn't. Right? And these are things that people crave. They crave that. Right? But Bill, and we had this conversation off camera, in 2025, what bigger status do you have? Especially if your goal is, I buy cars for hot girls. Okay. Where do you think you're going to attract a higher quality of lady? Pulling up in a nice car, or being like, hey, you know that house right there? Yeah, I own it.
Yeah.
You can park your toothbrush here, lady. You can leave your clothes here. Your dog can play in my backyard, right? I have something that's of value. And I think a lot of guys don't put focus or attention to that. I think in 2025, a higher quality woman cares more about your house than she does your car.
I would agree 100%.
Right.
And I think the other thing that I think guys should start thinking about, what females think about, is you carry a FICO card. What's your FICO score?
Yeah.
What's your credit score?
Yeah.
Here, look at this. Here, look at this.
Yeah.
And I think females would go, oh, that's a great FICO score. They must be responsible and they're going to save some money.
100%.
And I think sometimes with the cars, it is emotional. It's like, it's cool. I remember going to my high school prom, right? I had my date. I wanted to impress her.
Yeah.
So guess what I did? I went and borrowed a Datsun 240Z.
These young folks don't even know what a Datsun.
I know.
Robert,
Datsun
hey,
240Z.
put the Datsun on the screen when Bill says this, so people can see what I'm talking
It was like a T-top. It was, two-seater.
Okay.
I pulled up, picked up my girlfriend, and she was like, whoa. And then we went to a nice dinner, but it was the car.
Sure.
It was the car. It was the status that came from it, and it was an emotional.
That's the thing. I think
instead of my car that I had was a Granada.
A Granada.
Yeah.
Hey, man, nowadays you would impress me with a Granada. I think what you said is true. And I think it explains why a lot of people value cars over houses. I think a lot of people in America have never escaped their teenage phase. I think there's a lot of young Americans who are still stuck in their teenage phase. They're still chasing everything they wanted at 16, right? Why do I want a cool car? Well, I could get hot girls in a nicer car. Well, why do you care about the hot girl? Well, because I want people to think I'm cool. Yeah, but you're 27, dude. No one thinks you're cool anymore, right? Like, you're 31. No one thinks you're cool anymore. Like, the Instagram likes you're getting for having a cool car, that's great. But like in real life, I don't think you're cool because you drive a nicer car. You live in an apartment. That's not cool to me.
Yeah.
Right. And it's so hard getting people out of that mentality. Because like I told you before the show started, they think we're crazy, right? If you're still living in a teenager's brain, if you're still living in a teenager's mentality, if someone told me at 16, hey, don't buy a car, invest in a condo for the future so you can live somewhere, I'd be like, get the hell out of here. What are you talking about, a future? I don't care about a future.
This is what I want.
Jessica Simons ain't going to go on a date with me because I'm saving money for a condo in the future. She's going to go to college out of town. She's never going to see my condo. I want to go on a date with Jessica right now. And to go on a date with her right now, I need a car, right? So that's the first thing, that emotional connection to cars that we don't have towards houses, right? The next thing, and I know people don't like this, but cars are less responsibility than houses are.
100%.
You're supposed to go for an oil change and you're supposed to do maintenance and you're supposed to wash your car and you're supposed to do all these things, but most people don't do that. Now, car guys, listen, you don't need to jump in the comments. We know you do this. We know you care more about your car than your mom. We get it. You have called your car more times than your mom in the past month. We get it. But the average person isn't doing that. Their car is just a tool and they treat it like every other tool, right? Which is honestly why cars lose so much value, right? Homes are responsibility. To even get into the home, you need to be a bit more accountable. I get that. A lot of people, for the same reason they're living that teenage lifestyle, they're running away from responsibility. And finally, for a visual comparison, and hopefully Robert can throw this on the screen. Robert, put a Lamborghini on the screen and then put like a $400,000 starter home on the screen. Which one makes you feel cooler? Which one makes you feel special? It's the Lamborghini,
for sure,
right? But these are teenage emotions. You know what's great, Bill? Walking into my house and knowing that like I own it and that the backyard is mine and I can paint it and my kids can live here and no one can tell us to move.
Well, right? I remember when you first bought your house, all of a sudden I'm looking at your house. I'm going, because you're on Zoom. We meet on Zoom a lot. And they say, wow, look at that nice paint job. You painted a brand new house because you wanted to paint the brand new house.
My wife painted a brand new house. I want to make this very clear to everybody. My wife painted a brand new house.
But you let her paint the house.
I let her. That's right.
And by the way, she wanted that house, right?
She did.
Did she want the house or the Lamborghini?
She wanted. My wife's greedy. She wanted both.
She wanted both,
but she'll take the house.
Take the house right? First. Okay.
And she will, because she's a smart lady, right? Little quick lesson for guys. In fact, Robert, let's run a clip for this, right? You can't complain about gold diggers and also chase Lamborghinis. As a guy who used to work in nightclubs, easy women like fancy cars because in their head, they know if you'll blow money on a car, you'll blow money on them. You know what easy women don't like? Guys who own houses, because they know you're disciplined. They know you're future forward And they know if you're disciplined and you're thinking about your future, you won't even waste time with her, right? So if you want to start attracting the quality of women, if you're tired, if you're quote unquote tired of the Vegas girl, okay, stop chasing things that Vegas girls or, that type of woman craves. Stop doing it. Mm-hmm. You want gold chains and nice sneakers and Lamborghinis. Guess what? They love dudes who spend money. They don't like guys who save and plan for the future. So just a little pro tip for you guys there. Okay. So finally, Bill, let's get over the important stuff. We got the emotional side. We understand why people like cars. We get that. Let's talk about just the financial reality of owning a car.
Okay.
I put forward this. It is more expensive to own a car rather than riding the bus than it is to rent a house instead of owning a house. I think it's more expensive to own a car by percentage. Mm-hmm. So let's go over these numbers.
Yeah,
Bill.
let's hear them.
Okay. These are based off Las Vegas's monthly average. We did research here from LendingTree, Insure.com, Gas Buddy, AAA, the DMV, and Edmunds 2025. So we did our research here. The average car payment in Las Vegas is $550 for a used car.
Okay.
That comes out to about $6,600 per year, give or take. Okay.
How about a new car? Do you have a new car?
For a new car, it's closer to $600 or $7,200.
Okay.
Let's just go with used for helping people out.
Okay.
So we're at $6,600. Insurance, $200 a month on average, $2,400 a year. Your gas. Now I'm a realtor. I was spending $700 a month plus on gas, but the average person is at $154 a month. So we're at about $1,800 a year. Oil changes, you're supposed to get 4 per year. You're supposed to get 4 per year at
that doesn't happen.
At $80 a piece, which comes out to $320. Let's say you're only getting 2 per year at $160. Still costs money. Tires, brakes, repairs. This comes out to about $140 a year for AAA. Your tires go bad, your brakes go bad, you need repairs and maintenance. Registration and fees, we're looking at $25 a month, so $300 a year for your registration. And then we factor in depreciation because cars lose money every single day. Houses gain money, cars lose money. We're looking at $500 a month in depreciation according to Edmunds 2025 or $6,000 a year. When you total all of this up, we're looking at $13,000 a year to own a car.
That's over $1,000 a month.
That's over $1,000 a month. A bus pass in Las Vegas costs around $32.
I'm not going to go take the bus, though. Do you think people are going to go take a bus?
Well, let me break it down.
Okay.
$32 a month times 12 months, right? We're looking at what? Let's just call it $30. We're looking at what? $360, $370. So it's $370 to ride the bus versus $13,000 to own a car that loses money every single year. I would say for the people who say that they're making financial decisions when they rent, I would say, why don't you ride the bus then? If you're making a financial decision, if you're choosing the Lamborghini over the house because it's financially smarter, I think we just showed you right now that it's not. You're spending $13,000 a year on a depreciating asset. It's not a financial decision that you're making because you don't ride the bus.
Right.
It's an emotional decision. That car, you don't have, when you ride the bus doesn't take you directly where you want to go. You have to be on the bus's time. You have to be under the bus driver's control, right? That's what people don't like. They don't have control. They don't have power.
Freedom.
They don't have freedom. It takes more time. And that's what people value is time. People see cars as time saving, but they don't see that in housing. And again, why not? Where is the disconnect for them, Bill?
You tell me. I want to hear what you're having to say. Where are we going with this?
Well, let's keep going. We got more stats.
Okay, let's go.
People in our comments, as Robert pointed out, is they want more data, more stats. The average car depreciates at 15 to 20% after the first year. I'm going to repeat this again. That the average car depreciates 15 to 20% the first year. People always talk about, houses might be underwater. Houses might go underwater, even though it's only like 6% of them, right? Is the number still like around 6%?
It's less than that.
It's less than 6%. The average car, forget 5-6%, the average car loses 15 to 20% after its first year. The average home in Las Vegas last year gained 6.8%. So one thing loses 20%, the other one gains nearly 7%.
Well, and you talk about getting underwater, right? And there's the car, many times, I see it all the time. Mm-hmm. They'll go buy a car, they'll get a 5 to 7 year loan on it.
Yeah.
Trying to keep their payment down lower.
Yeah.
And then after 2 to 3 years, the loan is higher than the value of the car.
Yes.
So they can't get out of the car.
So they're underwater.
They cannot get out of the car. They are underwater on their car.
I would put this forward. Every complaint, every fear people make about houses, I could put it towards cars. And I think the data on cars is even worse than it is on houses. And yet they're not afraid. Even though they know houses make money and cars lose money, they're still not afraid. Mm-hmm. And because the answer of why, if we gave you $15,000 for a Lambo or $15,000 for a house, why so many young men would choose the Lambo is because they're making financially emotional decisions and not financially logical decisions. Mm-hmm. What they're going to say is, I feel better in a Lamborghini. Driving a Lamborghini makes me feel cooler. I feel more special, right?
Correct.
These are the same type of guys who make fun of girls for having too many feelings. These are the same type of guys who want to call people softies, who want to call people these, oh, look at these soft lefties, right? Well, here they are making bad financial decisions based on what? Their feelings, right? Because I think as we've very easily, this wasn't a challenge, right? No. We very easily, with just a few data points, have shown there really isn't much logical value financially in car ownership.
So why don't they feel that emotion towards a house? What is it? Is it because they're renting and it's all temporary? What is the
Did you grow up in a house, Bill?
I grew up in a house.
Do you have memories in that house?
I have memories in the house.
What's your fondest memory of growing up? Let's say as a young kid.
My fondest memory was growing up in the court where we had a housing development and there was a big acre field of grass in the middle. And I'd call my friends up and said, I'll meet you in the court. And we'd go play a little football. We play loco, which is throwing the ball behind your back. And then, you're there. And then we play tennis ball, baseball. We would play soccer. We would play every sport imaginable. And that was it. I could just run out into the field and spend all day there.
So your house was freedom for you.
Yes.
If you wanted to hang out with your friends, you didn't have to go very far.
No.
Did you? Right? If your friends wanted to come hang out, they could just come to your house, right? If your girlfriend maybe didn't want to go, you didn't want to spend money going on a dinner date. You didn't want to spend money going to I'm guessing with you it'd be a soda shop, like a jerk shop, something like that. If you'd want to take your girl.
I was born in 1910.
If you'd want to take your girl to the soda shop with the soda jerk, right? And spend $1 on a root beer float, you could bring it to your house. Right? It was yours. Obviously, your parents owned it, but still, it was yours. It was your comfort zone. It was your freedom. And I think a lot of young people, especially people, millennials who grew up during the crash, they've never known houses as freedom. I'm a perfect example. My parents rented my whole life. In fact, I don't think I knew a black person growing up who didn't rent. To me, I just equated that with the normal American experience. It's like divorce. Once everybody around you is divorced, that's just the normal. And I think renting has become so normal, people don't have stories like yours.
Did you move from house to house? Did you move from place to place?
We had one rental house, but everything else was apartments.
What was your best memory?
I don't have any because when you move around so much, there's really it's all a jumble. It's just this apartment, that apartment, this apartment, that apartment, right? And that's all they are. They're just a jumble of like ideas and moments.
Temporary.
It's temporary.
Everything is temporary.
Because when you're renting, you always know this isn't forever. This isn't my room forever. Why would I fall in love with this room when I know I'm not going to be here for long, right? Why would I fall in love with this living room when I know my mom's probably gonna have to move. My dad's gonna have to move if they get a new job or something like that. Like, there's no falling in love. There's no making core memories when it's just temporary.
So now in your new house,
I cherish every moment.
Have you made, what's the best memory so far?
My kid has her own room, right? And when she's mad at me, she has a place to go sulk and be a teenager.
She gets mad at you, Brandon?
She's a teenage girl, right? When she's happy, she has a place to talk to her friends in private. When she wants to practice her drums, we can hear her playing her drums in her room, right? But it's hers. And she can fall in love with it because she never has to leave if she doesn't want to, right? She has sleepovers with her friends and it's her room. People come to her house.
And they're not taking it away.
No, and they're not taking it away.
Yeah.
There's nothing they can do to take that from her unless I fail, which is a whole different conversation. But the point stands is there's a responsibility that comes to, I don't feel any responsibility with my car. I don't have any, I could trade my Tesla in and go back to a Camry. I don't care. It gets me from place to place. I don't care. But with the house, it's different. When I upgrade the backyard, I feel something, pride, you know? There's car guys who spend thousands of dollars transforming their car into a special car, but it doesn't increase the value. I can go online right now and find a souped up car that it's depreciated so much that all the upgrades didn't fix the value. But if they put that same upgrade mentality into a house, they would make a crap ton of money. They would make so much money. And I get it. Not everything's about money. But when we try to sell houses, what do people tell us, Bill? It's cheaper to rent. They make it about money, right? It's not us who make it about money. Yeah. It's them. That's the number one thing we get, isn't it? It's cheaper to rent.
Yep.
And I think what we want people to understand here is it's not a financial decision. It's an emotional decision. Be it responsibility, be it not wanting to grow up, being it, maybe I just like driving a fast car and it makes me feel cool. Whatever it is, it's emotional, right?
Yes.
And as long as we can detach the emotion from the logical and the financial, I think it'll make it easier for first-time home buyers to start making better decisions.
I look at a car, I'm very logical, as you know, I'm very math-oriented and all that kind of stuff. So I look at a car as transportation. You can get from point A to point B, and whether you're driving a Lambo or you're driving a Camry, or something different, a Kia, I don't care.
Yeah.
It gets you to the same spot. And the Kia is going to get you there at a far less cost than the Lambo.
Sure.
And what ends up happening is, let's take, for example, if you had a $600 car payment, how much do you think that would translate into the house that they could potentially buy?
I don't know.
About $100,000. They could buy $100,000 more house by not having that $600 car payment.
So wait, the difference between a $400,000 house and a $500,000 house is
a $600 car
$600 payment, right? How many people do we know who have really nice cars and apartments?
I've got a client right now. His car payment is $1,027. He wants to buy a $550,000 house. With that $1,027 car payment, he can afford a $400,000 house. I say, let's pay off your car or get a different car, itself. And guess what he's doing? He's paying off his car. He's getting that $1,000 more, and he's getting this $550,000 house. We used up some of the money that he had for the down payment. We used it to pay the car off, and it allowed him to put a little bit less down on the house, but have actually a lower now monthly payment for the house than he did with the house and the car.
Yep. I want to leave everybody with this, because we're not sitting up here trying to say one box fits all, right? You're a logical, math forward person. I run more on spontaneity and my feelings, right? But my feelings said, I want to have a family. I want my family to feel safe. I want my family to feel comfortable. I don't want my family to grow up feeling the way I felt. So for me, getting a house sated my emotions. If you're someone who doesn't care about family or kids or the future or something like that, I understand. We all can't be the same person. But if you're someone who has been telling yourself that you're not buying a house because it's financially not available for you, but you're also not someone willing to ride the bus, I need you to understand you're making an emotional decision, not a financial one. And maybe if you detach yourself from those emotions and just start listening to some of the data and numbers that Bill and I are putting forth, maybe you decide that owning a home is right for you, right? Maybe you take that chance. And if they're ready to take that chance, if they're ready to just step out of the teenage, need to feel cool, need to feel special, need to feel status, and they're ready to step into like adult world, how do they do it? Where do they start? Who do they talk to?
BillGaylord.com. Get started. Zoom. We'll jump out of Zoom, run through the numbers. I would say this, buy the house first, and then you can decide on a car.
Yeah.
Because that car is many times in the way of purchasing a home.
Yep.
And our friend over here, Robert, behind the scenes, he basically reduced his car payment in half so that he could buy his house 2 years out of bankruptcy. And he made the debt to income ratios work. And he did it because he lowered his car payment and got a less car.
Yep. Robert, I want to clip this. It's going to be the shortest clip that we've ever done, ever. You will be a more successful, wealthier person if you ride the bus and own a home than if you live in an apartment with a fancy car. My name is Brandon from Vegas. You can find us on all platforms. I am open to helping you for free anytime, any place, as long as you're willing to help yourself. If you contact me, I'm most likely going to send you to Bill because you need to get pre-approved. We need to figure out where you're at financially, but both Bill and I are willing to help you for free. If you're trying to stop make emotional decisions and you start want to make better financial decisions, we are here to help you for that. And again, we will both help you for free. You go to BillGaylord.com, you fill out my real estate form. You can start on either direction, but we're both more than willing to help you guys. So Bill, as always, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Let's go hop in our cars and but drive to our homes where our wives and families are waiting.
Absolutely.
Right?
You can do it too.
You can
Absolutely.
do it too. 100%. My producer Austin loves this. So peace, 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 peace.